everywhere. A lot of hate, a lot of fear, and it begs the question: how do we change that? How do we stop that? How do we move forward? How do we set ourselves free from this? And I know the answer. It's simple. We need more God, right? But when I say that and I say it's simple, maybe that's not so simple, because when I say we need more God, we need a better understanding of God. We need a better understanding of the truth. We need a better understanding of who we are. You know, we just sang a song that said, there's only love. Well, it says God is only love. And ultimately what I'm saying is, we need more love. Yeah. See, love's the only way that we want to change the world. That's what we need. We need more love. And when I think of love, I think of the letters love, L-O-V-E. And I think of this is the truth, is what we are. See, L is the life of God. O is the omnipresence of God. V is the verity of God. That is the truth. And E is the expectation of God. That is faith. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we need to change the world. So I'm going to share some ideas with you today about how we can be more love and make change in the world. So we'll start with L, which is life. Gandhi said this about life. He said, where there's love, there's life. Where there's love, there's life. God is love, God is life, and that is so who we are as well. But what is life? What do the scientists say what life is? What is life? How do we define it? Life is the condition that distinguishes the animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change preceding death. That's life. So we are life, right? So we have that capacity for growth, don't we? We grow. We know that, right? We all grow. I used to be little, now I'm big. We grow. But I don't think that's exactly all that it means for us. It also means that we grow through our experiences. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I told this story in the first service. I was speaking here about 2 years ago. Was my first time on stage. And I was talking, and I went back to, I had a book that I was going to read, part of a book I was going to read, and I went back to pull that section out. And some of you might have been here. And I didn't mark the page. That's my first time speaking. So I stood back here flipping through the book, and all of you were just staring at me. And it felt like forever, right? For me, it felt like that. But then I realized, you know what, I got to say something. I already knew it was in the book. It was my story. I knew what I was talking about. I read the book. So I went ahead and paraphrased what it was, and I moved forward. I learned from that experience. And I became a much better speaker, much more confident, much more courageous and everything, because I went through that experience. See, that's the capacity for growth. How many people that went through something that didn't feel good when you were going through it, but now you look back on it and you realize, hey, I had to go through that to be to where I am right now. That's the capacity for growth that I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So yes, we grow. The ability for reproduction. Well, obviously we make beautiful families. That anything that has life has the ability to reproduce. I have both of my children here today. I'm really happy to say that because my son's here, and he's normally not. My son Terence is here. He's 20 years old. My daughter is next door to the children. She's 17, going on 18. He's 21 on 21, and I'm proud of my children. I'm proud of my family. As a human being, we have the ability to reproduce. But I always think about this. Do you know of the coincidences and the synchronicities that had to happen for you to be here? Your mom and dad had to meet and have you. But it's not that simple, right? Your mom's mom and dad had to meet to have her. Your dad's mom and dad had to meet to have her so they could have you. But it goes back further than that. We can go back thousands of years, right? Imagine all the synchronicities that have to happen for you to be here. That's life. That's the ability for reproduction. You see? Thank God for Genesis 1:28. Be fruitful and multiply. None of us would be here, right? Yeah, yeah. Next is functional activity. Everything that is alive has functional activity, whether we know it or not. Plants, trees, all that stuff. We know they're growing and moving, right? And us as people, we need to have functional activity as well. Now, some of you know, I run marathons, I exercise, I do all that stuff. We all need to have functional activity. You don't have to go out and run a marathon, by the way, but you need to be functional. You need to be active. Do you know that when you exercise, it actually releases endorphins in your body? Yeah, I know you know, right? And they say that these endorphins actually reduce stress and pain in your body. They say it's the equivalent of morphine. Did you know that? All of that scientific stuff is basically saying this. when you exercise, when you have functional activity and you're moving, you feel good. And when you feel good, you feel God. That's the same as saying you feel God. Dr. Wayne Dyer said that, and it's so true. When you feel God, when you feel good, you feel God. That's functional activity. Next is continual change. Everything that's alive has continual change. It's always moving. We're always changing, right? Our minds are always changing. Our bodies are always changing. Our consciousness is always changing. Yeah? You ever notice that the God in the Old Testament is a whole lot different than the God in the New Testament? You know why? Because our consciousness changed from the Old Testament to the New. The Bible is just a record of our consciousness. That's all it is. That's why it changed so much. Yeah. People say that God never changes. I challenge that. I challenge that because it's... Eddie Watkins Jr. wrote a song, and he said, I am the place where God lives, moves, and breathes, and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. We are. We are the place where God shows up. So the only thing that doesn't change about God is the fact that God's always changing, because that's us. We are that. Yeah. Yeah, that's continual change. And then, of course, preceding death. Well, we know we don't die. We transition. We transition back to where we came, which is back to our source, back to the universe, back to love, back to God. Yeah. Yeah. How you breathing so far? You good? Breathe that in. Breathe in that life. Ah, yes, yes. Oh, it's omnipresence. God is omnipresent. Omni being everywhere. Present being the state of being present. Present everywhere. Which means God's in the room with us right now. God's not only in the room with us right now, God's in us right now. Isn't that a beautiful thing to know? When you really feel it, when you really know it, yes, experience that. Know that. God is within you. Yeah. And so we have to understand that is the way that we experience life, through that knowingness of oneness with God. And if you ever find yourself where you're not at peace, and you're not at love, then you're not in alignment with God. And if you moved out of alignment with God, you feel like you're not close to God, always ask yourself this question: who moved? Who moved? If you're not close to God, who moved? Yeah. If you find yourself in that place where you're feeling despair, and you're feeling hurt, or you're feeling pain, or it's just not together, here's a way to bring you back. Bring you back to that oneness. Bring you back to that understanding of that oneness with God. Affirmative prayer. Thanking God for what is and what will be, no matter what the outside circumstances are now. I say this all the time. I say, pray this if it's only one prayer you do. Thank you, God. You fill in the blank. For whatever it is that comes after that. Thank you, God, for my health. Thank you, God, for my home. Thank you, God, for my friends. Thank you, God, for my family. Thank you, God, for your presence in my life. Thank you, God. Be affirmative with that. No matter what's going on the outside, thinking in advance, because when you ask, it is given. Yes. That's omnipresence. How you breathing so far? You good? Breathe it in. Yeah. Ah, yes. V is verity. Verity simply means the truth. God is the truth. And we know about facts. We know facts change. We talk about that a lot here, right? I used to be 3. That was a fact. I used to be this tall. That was a fact. Now I'm not. That's a fact. They change, right? I used to live here. Now I don't. I live there. Correct? Facts change all the time. But the truth, by the way, I said this in the first service. I almost forgot this. I used to be able to dunk a basketball with ease at that. But that was a fact then, but I can't do that now. Right? But the truth is different. The truth doesn't change, but our understanding of the truth can change drastically as we grow through life. Let me repeat that again, just in case our understanding. The truth doesn't change, but our understanding of the truth can change drastically as we grow through life. I didn't say go through life. I said as we grow through life, because we grow through life every single day. And the truth is this: God is in you. The truth is you. We are the truth. Buddha said this. Buddha said 3 things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And that's what we are. You can try to hide it. You can try to hide what the truth is, but it's burning inside you. You know whatever that is, you've got to let it out. You've got to be what you're supposed to be. That's a part of what we are. You've got to let that out. That's that truth that's coming out of you. The song says, hiding under a bushel? No, I'm going to let it shine. That's what you got to do. Let it shine. Let it go. Be that truth of what you are. God is the truth, and so are you. So breathe. E is expectation. Expectation simply means faith. Hebrews 11:1 says this. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Having faith in what God can do. I was listening to a speaker recently, and she said, courage comes before confidence. And I'm fairly confident up here now. I wasn't 2 or 3 years ago, but I am now. But she said, courage comes before confidence. And I said, yeah, that's true. It took the courage to get up here the first time before the confidence comes. The confidence comes after you get up here, or whatever that thing may be for you. But I say this, faith comes before courage. Faith comes before courage. Having faith in God and what you are to do comes before courage. And if you have the courage, the faith and the courage, then you can do anything that you're meant to do. If you have that faith and courage. There's a story about faith and courage I want to share with you. Once upon a time, there were 2 brothers. Fear, and doubt. Now, fear and doubt would go all over the city, knocking on doors. And every time someone would open the door, they'd rush in, and they'd steal people's hopes and dreams. And they would rush out. And they'd knock on the next door and do the same thing, run in and steal their hopes and dreams and then rush out. And no one knew what had happened. And they'd go from city to city, week to week, and continuing to do this. And then one day, they saw a new house sitting way on top of the hill. It was beautiful. Oh, yeah. And they said, ooh, let's go to that house. And so they went up the stairs, knocked on the door. And you know this? Now see, fear and doubt didn't know this. They were at faith and courage's house. But they knocked again. No answer. So now fear and doubt got a little angry. And they just bammed on the door really loud. And finally, faith and courage heard all that ruckus, and they came out to open the door. And so as faith and courage came out to open the door, there was no one there. They even walked down the stairs. Hello? Hello? Still, no one there. Because in the face of faith and courage, fear and doubt disappear. And when you have faith and courage, your fears and doubts will disappear as well. And that faith is already in you. Have that faith in God. You see, this is the thing. We are the life of God. We are the omnipresence of God. We are the verity of God, that truth. We are the expectation of God, that faith. And if we want to change the world, if we want to make it a better place, then it starts with us. We are the love. It starts with you and me, and that's how we have to change the world. So just breathe that in.